this is one of the craziest stories that I've heard for the past 5 years. So, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about it. Someone needs to talk about it, right? So I'll talk about it. This is the saga between the live casino giant Evolution and its mysterious accuser, right? You might not know about this, but I'll tell you what happened. This story involves secret reports, Israeli spies, billion-dollar market crash, years of legal wrangling, and finally, like after 5 or 6 years, we finally know who was behind it all. So you know what? Grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's unpack what happened. In November 2021, an anonymous report appeared out of nowhere, like straight out of the blue. And they claimed Evolution's live dealer games were accessible in prohibited and even sanctioned markets.
Okay.
Now, that is one heck of a claim to make. So, you know, they should have brought the proof, right? This report was apparently delivered to the New Jersey Divisions of Gaming Enforcement, which also is known as the NGDGE. Now, that rolls off the tongue very, very smoothly. And it was brought to the NGDGE by a white-collar law firm, which is Kokani and Konevsky, also known as CK. The acquisition spooked investors, obviously. No one wants to get into a business that's illegally operating. And Evolution's market, they dropped around 36% almost overnight. And that 36% was worth about $10 billion. So obviously, Evolution did take this hit laying down, right? The company Evolution denied the allegations, calling the report inaccurate, false, defamatory, and methodology flawed. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna continue. So Evolution believed a competitor had commissioned a smear to sabotage his business, and Evolution sued CK and the anonymous client for defamation, and they literally asked the court to force disclosure of the client's identity, right? Now, that's where this legal tug of war came in place. So what followed was a multi-year legal slugfest. The law firm CK argued that the identity of its client was protected by attorney-client privilege, while Evolution insisted it needed the name to prove defamation. So early in this case, the Superior Court ordered the law firm to disclose the client's identity. But CK, they appealed. And what happened next was that the appellate court, they sent the matter back to the trial court, and they noted that the disclosure should be balanced against confidentiality and that the regulator's investigation of, the NGDGE might shed light on this report. So the regulator, NGDGE, they did investigate, and in 2024 February, the NGDGE, they concluded and found that no evidence that Evolution sanctions, promoted, permitted, or otherwise materially benefited from its content offered by operators in any market that the NGDGE considers a prohibited jurisdiction. Now that the NGDGE cleared the company's name and found no evidence, Evolution argued that the report was baseless and pressed even harder for the name behind the smear, right? So that brings us into part 3 of this video. And part 3 is where we get to finally figure out who's behind it. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So in April 2025, so this year, it's been really recent, a major piece of the puzzle emerged. CK, they acknowledged that the report had been compiled by Black Cube. Now, I didn't know who Black Cube was, so I looked it up on the internet. And apparently it's a secretive Israeli private intelligence firm founded by ex-Israeli intelligence officers. Yeah, now it gets scary. So Black Cube, they actually confirmed they produced the report, but insisted it uncovered new evidence, and they would defend it new evidence in court, right? So while the law firm maintained CK, the law firm CK, they still maintained it didn't know who had commissioned Black Cube to make the report, or, hired Black Cube to get a report going, and it frustrated Evolution. So Evolution, they decided, you know what, we're going to file motions for sanctions, and we're going to accuse CK of obstructing discovery. Now, if you look at the court documents, and if we look at later reporting, the Black Cube tactics, they were next level, man. They were extraordinary, as they like to say. So Evolution, they claimed that the investigators posed as investors and business people under false identities. They were fake beards and even wigs, you know, to disguise themselves. They also allegedly paid for flights, hotels, alcohol, entertainment, just to get information out of employees from Evolution. And then they cherry-picked recordings to paint a damaging narrative towards Evolution. Now, this is where it's now we're getting into the fun bit. High-level Playtech executives, including CEO Wiser, they were said to have communicated with Black Cube during this process. Now, Black Cube's spokesman counters that the evidence shows Evolution knowingly allowed its games in sanctioned jurisdictions and promises that the truth will prevail. All right. So now it's getting interesting, right? Yeah. What did Playtech get to do with this? All right. Let's go a little bit deeper, yeah? By October 2025, the discovery fight reached New Jersey Supreme Court. And on the 3rd of October 2025, which was literally just a few weeks ago, the court denied Black Cube's request to appeal and a motion for a stay, which now meant that the firm would have to either disclose its client or face contempt of court. Now, this is where it gets really weird, because at this point, at this stage, regulators had already cleared Evolution, right? Yet the court battle, they moved into the defamation phase, where the judge would decide damages and liability. Damages and liability. This is very important to know, because the report wasn't just about markets, right? It also contained allegations such as Evolution allegedly sending laptops to VIPs in prohibited regions, and that they received cash payments. So, you know, they insisted a lot of bad things about Evolution. And the report was circulated to regulators in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and even leaked to media outlets such as Bloomberg. And as a result of all this, so damages, more than 14.3 billion was wiped from Evolution's market capitalization. Damn. Now this is where we drop the bombshell. This is now this is getting crazy. So yesterday, the 21st of October 2025, Next.io, they dropped this article, right? And this article revealed that the mystery client who had hired Black Cube was actually Playtech. Playtech, the iGaming technology company, Playtech. And according to reporters Zach Thomas Aku and Sonja Lindenberg, Playtech had paid Black Cube £1.8 million just to produce this 2021 report about Evolution. And high-level Playtech executives, including CEO Wiser, had been in communication with the intelligence firm. Now, this revelation came after nearly half a decade of litigation. So Evolution, they had already achieved final victory in the earlier discovery phases this month after facing multiple appearances before the state Supreme Court. And Carlson, the CEO of Evolution, he literally told that, you know, it shook his faith in fair play, and, you know, fair play to Carlson. It definitely hurt a bit in fair play, man. Like, you know, we're all competitors in this field, but yeah. So what Carlson told the reporters was that a company that is our competitor can hire a company like Black Cube, hide underneath several layers of other companies, and fabricate false statements about us. It's just so bad that it's hard to understand. And Carlson, you're right, man. It's hard to understand. It is. And everybody can make from it what they want, but, you know, let's go a little bit further, right? Now we're getting into some things that, you know, I'd rather not talk about, but it has to be talked about. So, CK, the law firm, they were paid $33,700, right? a public relationship firm called Herald PR, they received 10K. And Herald PR's founder is Judah S. Engelmeyer. Judah S. Engelmeyer previously served as Harvey Weinstein's spokesman, and the New York Times actually describes this person as the go-to guy among a particular subset of alleged fraudsters and predators. So that's who they paid 10K to? Harvey Weinstein's previously spokesman? Now, Evolution argues that Playtech and Black Cube's 1.8 million investment in a smear caused the multi-billion-dollar damages to its company, right? And the company plans to amend its lawsuit to add Playtech as defendant, with defamation litigation expected to continue into 2026. And that's where we are right now. We are going into 2026 with this story still ongoing. So, for its part, Black Cube maintains its stand by the report, and it insists Evolution knowingly operated in sanctioned jurisdictions, and promising that its extensive body of evidence leaves no room for doubt. Evolution, meanwhile, they emphasize that both the NGDGE and the New Jersey's court have determined the report lacked evidentiary support. Regulators have found no evidence of wrongdoing, and Judge John Porto, the judge, they dismissed the Black Cube's so-called new evidence as an attempt of misdirection. Now, so where does this leave us, right? After years of cloak and dagger investigations, court motions, appeals, the veil had been lifted. According to Next.io's reporting, the mystery accuser is Playtech. Now, for Evolution, this legal battle isn't over. The defamation phase could drag on for years and years and years and potentially expose Playtech to billions in liability. Meanwhile, Black Cube promises to present its evidence and insists it will be vindicated. Now, we're all going to see and watch how this involves. But from my perspective, it's crazy. It's no longer, about having a competitive edge, who has the better product. It's about how dangerous misinformation can be used for business and also markets, right? It shows the importance of due process and regulatory scrutiny. Whether you're in the iGaming industry already or you're not yet, it's a reminder that the truth has a way of surfacing. And even if it takes your years and court filings to get there, the truth will prevail. And thank you for guys for watching. It's been a rough one. I agree, but it's something that we have to discuss. It's not something that you could just leave out there in the open with just a report. No. We have to discuss this, man. We have to discuss this as an industry about what happened here. Because wow, it's nuts. It's 4 a.m. This is how new I am to YouTube. I totally forgot to say the most important thing about having a YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you watch this entire video, it's 4 a.m. midnight and I still have to export it. Just, you've watched the entire video. Just subscribe, man. You'll watch the others as well. Thank you.